Welcome to Illuminati Silver. We tell the truth about silver. Today is Thursday the 19th of November 2020, and we're providing our regular midweek update, though a day late, where we can see both equities continue to rise or at least hold up to their rise, and gold and silver prices moving in a somewhat downwardly direction. So let's take a look. Now, before we go to the update, this week our videos have primarily been focused on silver. On Sunday, we produced episode 1 of Are We Reaching Peak Silver? And of course, next Sunday we'll have episode 2. Then on Monday, how much will silver be worth if the dollar collapses? On Tuesday, why reported silver supply and demand does not equal price? And yesterday, why solar panels or power may not be silver's saviour. And we've placed links to all of these in the description box below. Now, the broad picture is that precious metals are on the weak side and equities are swaying a little but generally holding up. So first, let's look at the US equity markets yesterday. The Dow Jones closed at 29,438, which is down 344 points on the day. The S&P 500 closed at 3,567, which was down 41 points, and the Nasdaq Composite closed at 11,801, which was also down some 97 points. But we have to remember this is against a backdrop of those markets rising earlier in the week. And what we're finding is that currently all three indices are very close to Friday's close. Overnight, Asia-Pacific markets were a little mixed, but broadly were either down around 0.4% or up around 0.7%. This morning, UK and European markets are in fact broadly down around 1%. Now, the time incidentally of producing this report is approximately 11:15 GMT. Now we can see that crude oil prices are marginally up compared with Friday's close, though lower than what they have been, with Brent crude standing at $43.95 and WTI crude at $41.25. The dollar index is 92.63. That's up so far today by 0.31, but less than 0.1 down since last Friday. So again, a very similar measure. Now, gold, however, is currently $1,859 an ounce, some $30 lower than Friday's close. And silver has now sunk below the $24 level and stands at $23.91, and that's almost 80 cents down since last Friday. Now, for some, this may seem surprising because the economic data published so far this week has not been all that inspiring, so one would have thought perhaps that would have acted as a somewhat of a tailwind for gold and silver prices. However, retail sales for October came in at 0.3%, compared with 1.6% in September, so clearly down quite considerably. Import price index was at minus 0.1%, compared with plus 0.2% in September. And what this suggests, of course, is that inflation is still going down slightly, certainly as far as buying and imports are concerned. And household debt for quarter 3 was a positive 0.6%, compared with a previous quarter of minus 0.2%. which suggests that households are now starting to move back into debt or increase the debt that they already may have. On the positive front, the Home Builders Index was up, and so too were housing starts and building permits, both for October. Now, the initial jobless claim figures we're still awaiting for, except the state program figures have been announced at 710,000, compared with 709,000 the previous week, thereby potentially showing an increase in the unemployment rate. But we would rather wait for the other figures to come out before we support that thesis right now. Now, the political situation is, of course, still somewhat up in the air, with President Trump not conceding defeat and introducing multiple legal challenges across the full range of swing states where he was considered as losing. And, of course, a number of White House firings and resignations only serves to destabilize the political situation that little bit more. Now, on the coronavirus front, which is capturing most of the headlines at the moment, and Greg and I produced a video on this and vaccinations yesterday and published it on the Richard and Greg channel, and we placed the link below. But the figures show us that the US has now surpassed 250,000 deaths. The latest figures we have access to is some 256,000 deaths so far and 11.8 million cases in the United States. What is alarming, though, is the growth of cases and deaths in the US in particular, though proportionately, and to be open and candid, things are not that great in the United Kingdom or Europe either, with 173,000 new cases announced in the US yesterday and 1,964 deaths, and 161,000 cases on Tuesday and 1,658 deaths. Now, with numerous states starting to impose, increase or extend potential lockdowns or anti-COVID measures, there is concern amongst economists as well as business people that the economy may once again stall. Prospect of a vaccine, though, from both Pfizer and Moderna, claiming around 95% effectiveness, will, though great news, providing it can be introduced relatively quickly into society, it has already taken what's regarded as the risk-off element for investors investing in precious metals, which could account for both gold and silver prices falling, and silver perhaps being hit a little bit harder because of the short-term, temporary envisaged industrial demand effect that further lockdowns could have on it. Now, Reuters came out with a brief report just about an hour ago, so let's just take a look at that, and it sort of encapsulates what we have said so far. Reuters article dated 19th of November at 10:12 a.m, but updated an hour ago, which was about 10:20. Gold slips on firm dollar, vaccine boost to economic outlook. Gold fell to a one-week low on Thursday as the dollar regained momentum, while overall optimism that advancements in vaccine development would speed an economic recovery also eroded bullion's safe haven appeal. Spot gold fell 0.5% to $1,862 an ounce by 9:53 GMT, having earlier hit its lowest since November the 9th at $1,854. US gold futures slipped 0.7% to $1,861. Gold has been a victim of optimism driven by news of headway towards a vaccine against the coronavirus, with a little dollar strength pushing it towards the bottom end of its range, said Michael Hewson, Chief Market Analyst at CMC Markets UK. And US fiscal stimulus remains an issue because Donald Trump hasn't as yet conceded the presidential election, so fiscal support remains far away. The dollar, considered a rival safe haven, was up 0.3% versus rivals, benefiting from uncertainties over a spike in new coronavirus cases in the United States and resultant restrictions. The rise in cases in Europe as well pushed world stock markets further off record peaks that had been scaled after promising vaccine announcements from Pfizer and Moderna. The vaccines could be ready for US authorization within weeks, US Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar said on Wednesday. In the short term, gold prices may continue to drift lower towards $1,800, said Vincent T., sales manager at Silver Bullion. Gold is still up about 23% this year, boosted by its appeal as a hedge against likely inflation and currency debasement that may follow the unprecedented stimulus globally. What hasn't changed is the prospect of near-term economic damage due to rising virus cases, said Hewson, adding that central banks might have to do the heavy lifting in the short term. Investors awaited US jobs data at 13:30 GMT for evidence on the state of the economy. Silver dipped 1.5% to $23.95 per ounce, platinum fell 0.7% to $936, while palladium eased 0.7% to $2,312. End of article. So, as already mentioned, that seems to encapsulate the situation quite well, with little to significantly, frankly, affect prices from here, other than any new initiative that may arise from the geopolitical field or any further announcements concerning vaccines, whether they be positive or negative. So that's the update for now, and obviously, please do not forget to tune in to our weekly update on Saturday, which is more comprehensive, and to view those silver videos we produced earlier this week. Now on the Richard and Greg channel, we will be publishing a further video on our Empires and Dynasties series either tomorrow or Saturday. Meanwhile, please share your comments below. Thank you so much for listening, and if you haven't already done so, kindly subscribe to our channel, not forgetting to press the bell sign so that you're notified of our videos as and when they are published. We hope you have found this video interesting and informative, and if so, please give it a thumbs up and share it on social media. Please ensure that you have subscribed to our channel and press the bell sign so that you are notified of any future videos. Also, kindly visit our website at illuminatisilver.com, and if you haven't already done so, please subscribe either as a free or paying member for regular email updates and offers. Disclaimer: Illuminati Silver owners come from a background of banking, international wealth management and economics. Having now retired from these worlds, we are not qualified to give investment advice. Therefore, this and other productions must not be deemed to be giving such advice and merely represent the personal views of its owners.